5 weeks ago, I planted up a series of seed trials for some of the top manufacturers in the UK. In this video, we're going to be looking at the first cut of these seeds, how the different brands are performing, applying the first dose of fertiliser, and we're going to be checking in at some of the more detailed results. Welcome back to the third episode of the Best Grass Seed series, where for those of you who haven't seen parts 1 and parts 2, I'll leave links to those down in the description below. But essentially, I took some of the top quality seeds from throughout the UK and planted them up in these see-through containers to monitor the growing progress over a number of weeks. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button for more DIY lawn care content, and all the products that I'm featuring in the video can be found in the links below. Let's take a look at an overview of the different trays. And this is around 4 weeks into the experiment. You can start to see there is a lot of different germination that's happening, and you can see the difference in the different types of blends between the finer leaves of the fescues and the more thicker leaves of the rye. I have noticed that different mixes are starting to show their characteristics a little bit. For example, you can see on the left hand side this Roll-On Minster Pro. This is a slow growing fescue mix and it will take longer to thicken up, but that's the nature of the grass seed itself, and it should also give you a finer, more thinly bladed lawn at the end of it. So you can't really compare any of these seeds like for like. It just depends on what you're looking for and different qualities the different cultivars can give to you as the end user. So you can see here the two mixes from A1 Lawns. Again, both of these are starting to thicken up, and perhaps two of the most thick varieties are the Platinum Pro from A1. And the Premiership Pro is also looking quite good, which is a seed mix that I used on my front lawn renovation, which I'll link up below. You can see again some of the mixes which are more heavily based on fescues has taken a little bit longer to thicken up, and they don't like all these cold temperatures that we've been having and the significant amounts of rain. The last two after the 4 weeks, we've got the two blends from Hull Seeds, the hard wearing mix on the right. I'm just pulling out some of the small weeds like I would normally do during germination in my lawn. And the All-American Dark Green, which is also thickened up really nicely. I'm actually listing this variety on my own website at the moment, so you can check that out in the link below if you're interested in that particular cultivar. Looking top down, you can see just a different perspective on some of the seeds. I'm finding a bit of a balance between putting the lids on when it's raining a little bit too much. I probably need to stick some drainage holes in these things just to make them a bit less maintenance. But you can actually see the leaves of the grass just coming over the top of the containers, and we're ready for the first cut. If you're looking a little bit closer, you can start to see again the different blends of the rye and the fescue. This is the fescue mix. And you can see here some of the really lighter shoots of the rye, which are starting to take up a multi-leaf shooting stage of the grass. Here's how things look after 5 weeks. You can see now some of the boxes have really thickened up. And I've just done a quick fertiliser of some pre-seed fertiliser on my main lawn project, which I'll link to when it comes out in the card above. And I'll throw a bit down on these boxes just to see how that turns out. I'm going to be using these ARS shears. Now these are beautifully designed, really well balanced, and an absolute joy to use. I do have to disclose that I've become a distributor for this product range, and I'll be listing these on my website. These shears are really sort of towards the top end of the range. They're fantastic quality, I really enjoy how they feel in the hand. They're quite lightweight and balanced, and all the parts are actually interchangeable. So the company really market these as a product for life, really, whereby you can replace the parts with a professional quality finish. This particular model is actually a professional quality hedge shear, and you can just hear the quality as the blades go over one another. As soon as they came through the post, I was just blown away by the feel. They're really well balanced in the hand, and I actually just walked around the garden looking for something to cut. Okay, so back on the grass seed, you can see here, this is the AM25 general purpose. Really nice and thick now. Next we're moving on to the AM9, the shady mix. I'm actually keeping a lookout for this one because I've got a bit in the back right hand side of the garden that tends to get mostly sun. It doesn't catch it in the morning because of the fence, and it also it seems to attract a lot of water in that area as well. Just zooming right in here, you can see the lighter, brighter, more established rye, and sitting within there the more finer leaves of the fescue. I've just dropped some of that fertilizer down into the boxes. That's going to last maybe a couple of days or so before it dissolves, and hopefully then that'll power on the grass through to thicken up before the winter comes. So here's a bit of an overview of all the different boxes 5 weeks in. Again, lots of strong competition here. All looking pretty good. I haven't seen too much in terms of colour difference. You can see most of them are quite a similar colour for now. You can see here's the state of my lawn at the moment. It's just absolutely bombarded with rain. Most of it's come through really nicely. Got a couple of little spells down here. I'm working on this bit. But I think over the next week or two, that's going to thicken up. And I'm probably just about ready for a cut on the front as well. Coming up, I've got some detailed Q&A questions for all the companies that have been involved. So if you're interested in that, please turn the notifications on and subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like any more information about the tools and seeds or the rest of the ARS range, check out my website, which is linked in the description below. In the meantime, here's some videos that you might enjoy.